Hi, welcome to lesson 4. This is massage establishments. This is a section where many of you will be concerned with the location and inspection of your place of practice. Also, we will talk about some of the disciplinary guidelines regarding establishments and determine a few places where we can operate and do massage therapy without having a massage establishment license. So I'm going to screen share with us a little bit here. I'm going to go to the document first because I think that will be helpful for you to see what I think is important. This is 64B7-26. We also have some information in Chapter 480, but it's much more limited. So we're going to focus on massage establishments in the rules. You'll notice I've highlighted operations, periodic inspections, transfer of establishment license, and sexual activity prohibited. It's very clear to me that when we're thinking about having a massage establishment, that the city and county will have local building codes. You'll notice that there are some requirements for bathroom and hand washing, very specific about soap and cleaning materials. These are things that as a health care practice and a wellness practice, I would think that each and every one of you would have some kind of very clean bathroom and facilities for people to work in. You'll also notice that this would be a requirement for getting an initial establishment, and one of the things that I would like to be sure that you're all clear on is that these restroom facilities can be community. I happen to have worked in a facility where there was a beauty salon and a variety of other services, and we had bathrooms all throughout the building, but they were not specifically designated for the massage location. Many locations also have a hand washing facility within their room, and having a restroom down the hallway would be perfectly fine. Some locations also have a whirlpool bath and a sauna. You'll notice that that would be one more requirement within the Board of Massage, and that would mean that people would need to have a shower. There are a couple of things that you'll need to be aware of in terms of personnel and displaying your licenses. We talked a little bit about that last time, but I would think that display of license, one of the things you're going to notice when the inspector comes in is they're going to want to see each person's license and be sure that there's an actual photo and that the person is actually who they are. And the people from the Department of Health, the inspectors, have the right to actually ask for positive ID. So we'll share a little bit more about that in a little bit in some commentary. Safety and sanitary requirements, very clear to me. Fire extinguisher is a place where people get some kind of citation. Also, and I'm not quite sure why this is, but some of the inspectors ask the board to be very clear about safe and sanitary condition, including the regular application of cleansers and bactericidal agents to the massage table. So I guess we needed to be clear with people that they needed to be sure that the table was cleaned after each use, and sufficient clean towels and sheets and drapes were available. There also is a requirement within each establishment to have some kind of professional liability insurance and property damage and bodily insurance. So that would be something that you would purchase, whether it's through a commercial agency or through purchasing a massage professional liability policy with the ABMP or the AMTA. In this rule, you can see that there are periodic inspections, and we can actually do some transfers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop screen sharing for a second and remind you of a couple of things. One of them is that people have businesses in locations, the business gets sold, and people then need to quickly move to a new location. So it is possible for you to have a massage establishment license and to be able to move or transfer your establishment license fairly quickly. The board is trying to develop some rules so that if you have no citations and you have a clear and active license and you are a massage therapist and you've had successful inspections in the past, that you would be able to notify the board, pay your fees, and move into your new location prior to inspection. This is a great development in our field, and I believe that as you progress over the next couple of years, if you needed to do a transfer of location, that you would find the process very simple and easy. Also, I'm just going to screen share back a little bit and give you an idea of some of the things that I think are part of an issue within our field. The reason that the board can actually physically ask you for positive identification is within a lot of industries, whether it's agriculture or hotels and restaurants or personal service industry. There's a tremendous amount of human trafficking going on, and so the board and rules and regulations in a variety of boards to allow them, when they are doing an inspection, to do a positive ID. And so as a practical matter, as a therapist, I know that most of you probably won't be leaving your purse or your ID in your car, but you will need to be sure that if you're working at a facility that you have access to your ID and license and different things like that, because they will not let you go out of the building without following you and being concerned. Human trafficking is a big issue in many, many fields, and I would say it's not such a big issue in our field. It's very rare that I've seen cases that come in, that person obtained a massage license and then was enslaved to provide massage therapy. There are cosmetology and hotels and restaurants and agriculture that are drastically sacrificing people's lives for attempting to come to this country and make better for themselves. We've talked about the picture rule. I want to talk one last thing about inspections. I think that and be your inspector, and then you've had other years where that's changed. It's my understanding that the inspectors are now, again, part of the Department of Health, very consistent in what they're doing, and are willing and free to give you your card. And I think it would be very beneficial for all of you to have a personal relationship with somebody who comes in from the Florida Department of Health or the health inspection departments, especially if in the future you run into something in your town, your county, where there are places that might be operating with unlicensed establishments. Within the Chapter 480 and 456, we have determined that health facilities like chiropractic settings, physical therapy settings, pain management locations, those are exempted from needing to have a massage establishment license. And I think this is very logical, especially when we look at the situation in a chiropractic office or physical therapy office where someone is employed and they're doing manual therapies. If you are seeing clients privately in that particular location, it is recommended that you do get a massage establishment license there. There are couple of other places: the house of your client. You could go to the office of your client. You could do a trade show, convention, or sporting event. All 5 of those are places where you don't need to have a massage establishment license, but you would be required potentially to show proof of professional liability and proof of actual licensure in the state. So it's my hope for this particular section to remind you that every 2 years you're renewing your massage establishment license. If you are an establishment owner, you would have also had to do fingerprinting. We've talked about fingerprinting all too many times so far. And you will be getting inspected. Usually you get inspected the same month each time that you, usually it's kind of around your renewal time or your initial licensure time. You just pull up a list from the month. I think the other most important aspect of this establishment section is that there are many people out there who want to not have a massage establishment license. They are working in people's homes. They are going to the office of a client. They are working at a sports event, a trade show, or a convention. If you are going to the office of a client, that means that you're working on people who work at that office, not anyone else. So for instance, if you went up to a nationwide insurance company and you were doing wellness massage for that company, and you were working with employees from that company, giving them back and neck and shoulders massage, you would be perfectly legitimate to be going there and not having a massage establishment license. As soon as you start to see the public there, where people know that you can actually get a massage in that location, that would be the time where you would physically be required to have a massage establishment license. There are some other examples in the little handout and flyer. A great example of that is a trade show. Trade shows, in my opinion, are very temporary, and so if you were thinking about working at a flea market, it might be that it would be important for you to realize if you had a booth, you were there consistently throughout the year, like you want to have an establishment there. If you were just going from a little before Thanksgiving to Christmas to sell gift certificates and promote massage therapy for the holidays, I think that would be looking much more like a trade show. All right, so that is the end of lesson 4, massage establishments. Please be sure to review the next section, and we will broadcast in a few minutes.